Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and yep, you've guessed it, you're on the right playlist, it's Margarete Miller time. And can I just say, well that thump sort of said it, what a chunky monkey this thing has become. If I have one regret about doing this challenge, it was that I did it in the planner. And in respect to Margarete Miller, this planner was never meant to be collaged on both pages, so it's my own fault that it's got this big and thick and chunky. But you know what? I do love it. I just wish that I had have done it in like a glue book scenario. So if I was to do this challenge, not next year because I have other plans, but say the year after, I would certainly do a glue book version. And I would recommend anyone who's going to do this but not use a planner, choose an art book, choose a book you can glue into, choose a recycle book, because you'll have more of a space to do it and you'll be a lot more satisfied, I think. You won't be as confined as I felt confined, but then you know what? It's supposed to be a weekly challenge and I will try to do it in under an hour per challenge, but there you go. Hey ho. Right, I want to say we're on 51. In fact, I'm absolutely, yeah, there you go, 51. I was going to say I'm almost absolutely damn certain it was 51. Right, yeah, I'm worried that I'm going to not be able to close the book eventually. Right, there are the prompts and I will show you exactly what I've got to work with when I do it. And obviously you've seen I've already covered the background and I'll explain that because I thought, you know, you've seen me do, well, 50 other of these. You don't need to see me covering the background every single time. Okay, partners in crime are scissors, smoother or scraper or an old credit card or door key, a tear ruler and a glue stick. And for those who are asking, yes, I did go and start ordering my glue online in bulk from Amazon, because one of these in a shop cost me £2.50 and I've been able to get them at £1.90 by buying them in boxes of is it box of 5 or box of 10? I can't remember. Anyway, so I've got them quite a bit cheaper. So yes, I should have done that a long time ago, but you know what? Sometimes you just don't think, do you? Well, I don't anyway. So let's just talk my way through this and show you what I pulled out. So something underlined in red. The first thing I did was grab a red pen. I went, you know what? No. So, oops, I've dropped it. So I've got this thin red washi. I thought, right, I'm going to use that. Washi is one of the prompts anyway, but this is not going to be my washi prompt. So that's the underline in red. A form or portion of a form. Okay, this, oh, excuse me, this is the type of form that I used to cover this. So it was from a wedding magazine, or bride's magazine, there you go. I covered it before you got here for a couple of reasons. Number one, thought that'd be quite boring to see me do. And number two, I wanted this fully stuck down at least overnight because I'm going to attach things to it that might pull it forward. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. So I don't need this list anymore, so that can go into the parking lot. Anyone who's not familiar with me, this is my parking lot. It's basically the basket, things to go to die in. And once this challenge is over, I will then refile all this right back where it should be in the boxes of other bits of ephemera. Or if it's completely useless, which is a hard thing to say for junk journal, I'm sorry, just not my trimmer or guillotine or whatever you call it. Right, sorry, in rambling mode. Now, a stitching pattern sewn, drawn or stamped. So we all have bits of this stitching pattern. Well, anyone who's got stitching patterns know they've got sewing patterns. So I use that quite often. So I went in and I actually just used some number stamps and just stamped some black numbers on here. And this is the reason I chose yellow, because I thought that's going to look really nice for it. So that's going to be layered, because if I overlay one piece, it'll, anyway, you'll see what I mean when I get there. So I intend to be quite deep in my layering on here. A portion of a postcard either side. Right, where are we? So I have a postcard, but it's one of the postcards I made myself. I need to round the corners on this one, we'll come to it. But I thought, right, I'm going to use this as a pocket, I think. Whether it's on there, whether it's here, whether it's halfway up and it's a pocket in that direction, not really sure. We'll talk about what goes in it in a minute. So that's my postcard. Oh, there's my corner punch. I thought I'd put it somewhere handy. Washi tape. I've got this washi tape. I think it might be a Tim Holtz washi tape. I'm not sure, or if not, it's probably a Stamperia one. I found it in a box that I'd obviously ordered stuff and not opened the box. How scary is that, that I would actually get a box of craft supplies and forget I've got it, and it was tucked under my table, so I must have been doing something else and in a hurry and didn't open it. But I'm really pleased because I'm going to put accents of this on this page. And the other thing, something that stands on the table. I've covered the stand up. You'll see what I mean. So what I did is I found this image, which is 3 different China patterns, and I thought those look quite nice on there as well. So it's going to be yet another eclectic spread, I feel. A couple of other things I pulled in. I pulled this in, and I'm not really sure why. It just absolutely screamed it must be used. But I don't know where, and I think when I look at it, it's more the staircase I like. So it could be that I fussy cut this out, and it's actually just that bit in the corner. Don't know. It's a bit of, it was just asking to be used, so I'm going to use it. I pulled in a few scraps from the parking lot because I want to try and use up as many scraps as I can. Just pulled these in. I had that little snippet from one of the previous ones, and there's flowers on the washi tape. I thought I might use that somewhere. It could become a tag pull or something. And then as we're getting towards the end, I've only got one more to do, which is the Christmas spread. I thought it's about time I used the 3rd one of these images, and I found this, which is a small A5. Is that A5? That may not be A5. That looks, no, that's probably A5. I don't know what size that is. Anyway, it's a small one. What is it actually in real life? It's 6. Okay, 6x4. Is that 6x4? Yep, a 6x4 piece of card, and I've used some of my jelly printing. I've got a stash of these where I was testing out new techniques, and every now and then I reach into them, and that looked like it was the perfect thing to frame that. So I'm going to stick that down, and then I'm possibly going to trim this down, and this may be the thing that goes into the pocket, and I might even, depends how I do it, I might even use that as the tag that goes on top of it, but I'm unsure. As you can see, I put stuff down, so I think it's just about time to get ready and go, really. Let's put the old obligatory glue book in. Right, where to start? Well, the place to start actually is backgrounds. Now, get the old glue stick on the go. I definitely want to put washi on this page. It was one of the reasons I pulled it out, and I'm going to just tear the washi, and yes, as I always do, I'm going to glue the back. Now, I'm not planning this one. For me, I'd like to do this one quite quickly because I'm seeing other people do this challenge, and some of them can get it done in like 15 or 20 minutes. I'm like, how are you doing it that quick? Mind you, it's probably a bit late in the day for me to be worrying about timings when there's only one more to do, which I'm quite excited about because no matter what the prompts say, I'm going to turn it into a Christmas spread because it's the last one of the year. It's the last one of the challenge. It's in Christmas week. That's when it's going to be done. Well, actually, it's when it's going to be loaded because I'm working ahead of time because, as I've said before, heading towards Christmas, and Christmas is an incredibly busy time. Let's slide that up to the top. Is an incredibly busy time, so I'm trying to get ahead, and I've got a pile of other videos to film before Christmas as well, which I'm excited about. This reminds me, I've done a few recycling book page ones now. There are more on the agenda to do. I just haven't got around to doing them yet, for no other reason than I'm just busy, which is predictable and which is exactly what I expected to be. And I'm happy to be busy because goodness knows, last year we put the whole world on stop for a year, and that really threw me back, threw me a winger, and threw me a left curve, really. But you know what? I'm fine. I reinvented my life. I reinvented my business. I reinvented pretty much everything about me, and I'm now a newer, different, hopefully better version of me. And I'm okay about that. Right, I would normally do 3, but I really think I want something down there. And I'm wondering whether, if I take a piece of this, and actually I'm thinking about in that corner, to be honest, see if I can tear it that way. Right, stick that to my bookshelf, because my bookshelf is shiny, so I'll be able to get that back off. let's see if I can slide that under here. This is another disadvantage when this thing gets this full, is trying to actually butt things up against the edge is a little bit tricky. So that's 4, where's that piece gone? Right, we'll stick this last little bit on because I hate waste, and if I stick it to my bookcase, there's a good chance I'm going to forget it's there, and then who knows, I may never use it, and I don't want that. Let's just put another piece in there. Right, so that's the first layer of. Now background, background, background. Do I want to do the washi tape red stripes at the moment? I think I might do actually. I might put some of these red things in because I don't want the red to be too red. Does that make sense to anyone, to me? I don't want it to be a dominant colour is what I'm trying to say, because this whole spread doesn't look like it's going to be that bright and, I don't want to say not joyful because that would just be a wrong thing to say. It's not going to be a vibrant one, I feel, but then I've proved myself wrong in the past, so you never know. So. Where's my smoother? It's funny because I put that on a straight line and I put that on a straight line, yet one of them looks wonky. Or crooked, should I say. Let's get this last piece on here. And I think I'm just going to cross those two over. Why I feel like crossing them over, I don't know. Now, I can, of course... There's the smoother one. I can, of course, later on add more of these, so I'll put that to one side. Not sure I'm going to be adding more of the washi, but I'm going to put it just in the parking lot over there so I know where it is. Right, now I'd like to come in, let's take that off there, and add some of this, whatever this stuff's called, sewing papers, sewing pattern paper, or tissue paper, or whatever I want to call it. Right, I might want to just tear this down. Now, I was wondering, how transparent is it? No, it's not that good. I was going to say, shall I cover up the prompts? Probably not a great idea, Griffiths. Let's just take that down there. Now, I'm not going to try and glue this separately. I think I'm going to try and glue the book. Or should I try and do it separately? Let's see how we do. Let's try it with this one piece. I'm very wary that even though you can glue stick tissue paper, if it starts to roll up and go wrong like that, then you're in a whole world of pain, which I might just have entered that world. Actually, maybe I can rescue this. Now, I don't mind it going off the page slightly and being trimmed later, and I don't mind if it goes crinkly or creasy. Creasy or crinkly? You know what I mean. Let's do that bit off my fingers before I go a bit nuts about that. So that's the start of it anyway. Oh, good grief. Why is it when saying 60 fingers? It really, really, really sticks to your fingers. This goes in the recycling box. Right. I keep seeing little flashes on the screen of my iPad. I'm hoping this video isn't jumping around and stopping or starting. I do apologise if it is. If it is, there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. I don't know what causes it, and as I've started this video, I'll need to keep going because I only have the one Margarete Miller book planner, and I have to get this into this planner. So if it is stopping and starting, I do not know why. Well, I probably do know why. I need a new iPad, that's why. And I just haven't got around to getting it. So I would be very disappointed if this video stopped and started all the way through, because I know how annoying that is when I watch videos. I think one more cluster of numbers, and then I might put the odd little piece in here and there, and then we'll call that background done as well. Yeah, I don't know why my video does that, because I've noticed on one or two of my other videos that as I'm editing it, I'm noticing there's the little, it's almost as if the frame freezes for a second. If I'm able to cut them out, I do, but a lot of the time I can't because it's all linked to the vocal or the voice, the words that I'm speaking. So if I cut out a piece of the image, it actually cuts out part of the dialogue as well. And if I do that, then I've got to then try and find a place to start both the image and the dialogue. And I don't know why it does it. I don't. I've got a suspicion, as I said, it's because my iPad is old. It's desperately in need of renewing. I've got the money there to do it. We've got a huge Apple store in Cardiff here. It's just literally getting around to going and getting it. I think part of it is, and I feel this about most technology because I need a new phone as well. I'm always apprehensive of messing with technology because then if it goes wrong, I'm out of my depth and I can't actually get it to work again, and I can't sync it and I can't set things up. And also, when you buy a new device, sometimes it means you've got to put all your passwords back in for every single thing that you've ever done, and it just drives me nuts. And I get, because it's out of my control, I then get really anxious about it. So anyway, right, I think I like that, and I think this piece is going to go into the parking lot, maybe for another project, another year, another day, definitely. Right, so that's that done. Right, what's on here next? I'm trying to avoid the pocket until last because I don't want this to dictate where the pocket goes. Right, these need to go on. These are just strips from a magazine image, as I said, and they were the things on the shelf. And again, I'm just popping them down wherever my little heart feels it wants to pop things down. And I think that's, thank you for what I'm about to say, but I do get quite a lot of compliments about the way I construct collage. And you know what, it's, how do I word this without sounding really, I don't even know whether conceited is the right word, but really up myself, should we say. And I think part of it is, it's just, I just go for it. And if it's wrong, it's wrong, and I try and correct it. And if it's right, it's right. But it's not, I mean, you've seen me do enough of these now. You know that I don't hugely plan anything. Oh, excuse me, something stuck in my throat. And of course, I haven't brought any water with me or a coffee or anything about it. So, Ceri chokes live on screen. So yes, I thank you for the compliments. However, I don't know how I do it. I do know my years of cake decorating and design, which obviously is the other part of my being, has taught me balance and colour and probably a little bit of bravery when it comes to stuff like this, and that's why I just go for it. Right, okay, so I did want to put in this pocket. Now, I think I want it as a side pocket, so I'm going to give it a bit of a chomp. So that's that out of the way. So now, I think the only reason I want it sideways is because I can see that butterfly. The thing is, if I do that, which way is this going to go and is it going to fit? And should I then do, oh, I can't do it that way, it'll have to be on this side then. If I do, I'm thinking that if this goes in, it'll need to stick out, because I think, well, I suppose I could get it in that way. I wonder, I'm erring towards this side. I think I'm going to try and do it here, and then this will slide in that way. It's going to be backed on something anyway. It'll be up to me just to make sure that it's the right size to fit on there. I am going to do a little bit of vintage photo around this, and there's a very slim chance I might actually decorate this with maybe a focal point or something. Not 100% certain yet. I didn't think that far ahead. At one point I was actually thinking about putting the girl on the front of this and just putting a tag in this, but then I quite liked this, and I quite liked the girl up against the colour purple. So I think if I decorated this with that, it would just cover it all up, and I really like the way that this plays on this. So right, I don't know, we'll have a think. I might put something on there, I might not. I might just leave it as is. So right, I'm going to use art glitter glue because this is a bit of thick stock card, and some of this is washi, some of it is tissue, some of it is other stuff. That was very helpful, wasn't it? So hello and welcome. I'm sorry, I'm halfway through the video and I've only just said welcome. Welcome to all the new subbies. Welcome to anyone who's revisiting me. Thank you very much for all the comments. I am ploughing my way through them as I keep promising I will, and I am. So, and I'm enjoying them, I must admit. It's nice. That's one thing I like about the communities of Facebook and YouTube. It makes you feel not so alone. Does that sound a bit quirky to anyone? It means that I'm going to flip this over and press from the other side. It's as if there is someone in the room crafting with you, although we know you're not, but it's just nice to have something like that. Right, I'm going to lay that on there. I think what I'm going to do is put the bookmark in, and I'm going to shut the book, because if the weight of this doesn't hold that down flat, well, it's gluing, I don't know what will. So let's push that to one side while I get to work on this. Now, I did toy around with whether it's cut down enough, and that's probably because of that, and I think I'm going to have to sacrifice a little bit of the bottom of this. No, we cut a neck off. So there you go. And the question is where on here, because I need to cut this down, and I'm wondering whether I like it going from light to dark or dark to light. I think I like it going light to dark. And I think I quite like that bit, so I think it's going to go up there. Now I'm going to use glue stick on this purely because it's magazine page, which does stick quite easily with glue stick, and granted it's onto a painted background, but the worst case scenario is it peels off, and if it peels off I'll go, oh, well, I'm not going to use that glue again on there, and I'll just stick it down again. So right, let's pop that up there. As I said, I don't need this to be a huge tag. Actually, that's a thought. I'm wondering whether I should put a little bit of something like... We'll wait until I've cut this before I decide whether I need to do that. Right, I'm gonna bring in a mini guillotine. I'm not a lover of mini guillotines, but I mean, I've got a big one with a big handle. I think it's like an old school classroom one, massive thing, and I love it. However, I'm not going to be bringing it in and out for this, so I just need to trim this down. I don't know why I don't like trimmers, actually. I just don't seem to get on very well with them. They never... I've had lots of trouble in the past anyway with them not cutting straight. Especially the ones that have got like that wire thing that you slide up and down. I have the devil's own job with those. So much so I think I've thrown my one out. See, that'll do. It's not the most centralised thing in the world, but it will do. Right, put that back over there. These two little pieces I'll put to one side because you never know, I might use those to pull this colour across the page. Never throw scraps out until your project's done, and then if you're going to throw scraps out at that point, check to see whether you've got a future project that you could be using them in. I am quite brutal at getting rid of scraps that I really don't need, because I get so overwhelmed with things that if there's a whole load of scraps and I can't control it, is that going to fit in there? Hey. Right, so if I can't control it, then it gets too much for me. Right, I'm just going to give these the slightest little rounding on the corners. Right, now I need to make a decision. Do I want to put a number on there to tie it in with the rest of the collage? I kind of think I do, but I don't want a huge one on there. I just want a little bit of this tissue paper. So how are you all doing? Are you all ready for your seasonal celebrations, whatever you celebrate this year, this time of year, whether it's, well, is it this time of year? Because I know some festivals move. I know we've got Christmas. I know that, is Hanukkah near Christmas? I think Hanukkah is near Christmas. Yeah, I quite like that on there. Hanukkah. I don't. I've got enough Jewish friends. You'd think I'd actually be able to say that word, wouldn't you? I don't know when the Chinese New Year is. That's another shifting feast, isn't it? That changes, I believe, as the years go, because let's see, how do I word this? The Chinese calendar is not the same as our calendar as far as the years go. I want to say, oh no, I'm going to get myself into deep water here. I want to say that there's 13 months in the year instead of 12. I should really have researched that before I open my mouth to say something, shouldn't I? But no doubt, just know that there's something different about it anyway. Right, that's on there. I do want to back this with something, and I've got a couple of little pieces that I might just stick right over the back. In fact, if I got some of that pink, I might do that as well. Right, I mean, I don't intend to journal in the back of this, but you never know, I might. I mean, this is certainly not a journaling journal. Well, not in my mind anyway, because I haven't left anywhere to write, have I? Plonker. Right, let's put that on there. Give it a bit of a smooth down. Hopefully I'm still in screen. I'll put a piece across there afterwards. That can go on there. Oh, of course I didn't glue underneath that, did I? See, pay attention, Griffiths, pay attention. There you go. Let's get that on. I seem to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not klutzy, but I seem to be a bit in disarray today. I seem to have things all over the place. Definitely don't know why. What's stuck under there? Bit of paper. There's no reason why things should be all over the place. I just, you know, when you have one of those days, right, do I want to change that for a different piece? I've got a little bit of music here. Let's just put a bit of music on the back here as well. So, just trying to, I would love to get to the point with my parking lot where basically I've used everything in it. But as there's only one more of these collages to go, I very much doubt that's going to happen. So, right, just stick that across there. Now, as you can see, I didn't really care about the other side because I'm going to trim it anyway with a pair of scissors. It's easier for me to glue it all down and then cut around it than it is to try and get all of the edges exactly where the edges need to be. So, and hey ho, we're making more scraps. What happened there? I need to put a little more glue on that. There you go. So we're making more scraps. How fun is that? And you may say, why didn't I wait to cut the rounded corners after I backed it? Because I find sometimes with that particular corner punch, if there's too many layers of paper or card, it basically won't cut it. So by cutting it, I've already taken away one layer. So when I put the punch back in again, I'll then be able to repunch it, and it's only cutting through one layer at a time. So just going this way. It's just the way I do it. I mean, there's no rhyme nor reason half the time, other than it just works for me. And I think that's the important thing with being creative, is you need to find out what works for you. And that didn't want to work for me there. I do have trouble with this corner rounder sometimes. Well, I guess that corner's not going to be as rounded as the rest of the corners. Okay, I quite like that. That will go in there quite nicely. I'm going to let that sit on top because I know some of the top surface is a bit sticky. And the last thing I want to do is put it in there and then not be able to get it out again. Okay. Other things here. This feels remarkably bare. But I'm actually wondering whether I like it remarkably bare for once. Right, I still have this, which I did quite like. And you know what I do quite like? It's just a bit okay. I think if I trim that ever so slightly, because I'd rather not have it that wide. I'll save that for a second, because I might want to transfer that onto another bit of the page. I think I might just put that down there. Don't know, it's me, you know me. It's gut feeling time, and gut feeling is I like that. So I need to then rethink, do I want to add any more of the red washi over the top? And I'll have a little look and see whether I want to add any more of the other washi, just to create the whole layers thing. Oh, interesting. That was just a fluke getting 888 written down there. Not that there's anything to do with the date that this collage is going to be set free on the world, but so just a bit of trimming here and there. Right, overshot the mark with that. So right. Okay, so here we are. That'll go in. I'm wondering whether I want to add this little piece somewhere just to give a nod to that colour. No, actually, no, don't. Let's throw it in the bin before I keep changing my mind all the time with it. Right, I wanted to have a little look at, do I want any more red washi, because I seem to have covered up the majority of the red washi, and I didn't want it as a dominant colour, but I am aware it is one of the prompts, a red line under things, so we're going to have to re-establish some of that. So let's put a red line under there. I wonder whether I can do what I'm about to think I can do. Let's do a little bit of a red line up the side of there, and then a little bit longer piece of a red line. Excuse me, coughing. Going from the top, oops, come on Griffiths, get together. Up over the top of that. And I feel I want one more piece up here potentially. Let's pop that across. Actually, no, I want to put it. No, I do want to put it up there. I was trying to tidy that bit up. Of why am I trying to tidy it up is the next question. Right, that's all on there. Do I want any other little bits of the other washi? don't think so. I'm looking here thinking I need some. Actually, I wonder. That's a little bit wide. Mind you, there's no reason I can't tear this down. After all, it is just old book page, guys, with a little bit of an element stitched onto the top of it. And that's exactly where that's going to go. There you go. Another scrap out of the parking lot. If you are gluing down stuff that's been stitched, by the way, always try and run a line of glue along the back of your stitching, because a lot of the time when it comes to book paper or vellum or card, if I've sewn it, I don't tend to do a back stitch, purely because it sometimes then perforates the paper so much that the paper will just tear off. Basically, it's a bit like a postage stamp. You've given it a perforation and it will tear along. So I like to put glue on the back and it holds it all in place. Right, looking at this, I think I want a flower or something there. A flower is calling to me. Let's see if I can clear some space on here. Right, not sure. I'm running a little low on flowers. I wasn't thinking one of these flowers, but just in case. No, I don't like these. These are cut out from a magazine, but for some reason these ones I haven't used because they just look, I don't know, they just don't seem right. Is that too dark, do you think? I'll keep on looking and see what else. I need to order more flowers. I really do need to order more flowers. I don't basically want arty pieces. A bird. Have I used a bird in a while? I haven't used a bird in a while. I don't think I want to put a vulture on here. That would just be wrong, wouldn't it? Is this a finch or a canary? That's rather weird looking. Oh, what's going on with that bird? Oh, actually, I don't mind. Come out. This is another reason I don't really like these things for keeping my stuff in. I can never get my hand in there. And I try to make the pockets both supportive and, I think I'd like that actually instead of that, supportive and shallow enough to get my hand in, but I do struggle, which is probably why I'm a person who reaches for tins more often than not when I store stuff. So let's put that to one side. Back up there. Oh, we'll just knock something over. That's not unusual. I'll just take a little bit of the whiteness off that. I have no objection to whiteness. It's just, it would be a bit stark on that one. Right, glue back at the ready. And I think if this little one just goes right there, I think that's enough. It just needs to be not an afterthought, but just a little something on the side. So, literally a little something on the side. Actually, I think about there. Right, is this dry enough? It is, and I like the fact that we've got a little pop of that colour coming out as well. This does feel like it's lacking something, but what it's lacking, I do not know. I mean, I've got these, and I'm wondering whether this just feels too heavy for me, right? Usual partners in crime are butterflies, but I don't want to use a butterfly today. I think we've butterflied out, should we say. Do I have any labels? Bear with me. Let's see whether I've got anything in here. I've got plenty in here. That might be nice. Let's see if I can find 3 labels and put them on here. A red one is always going to be a good one. And I think, unsure. I'm trying to give a reason for the red to be on this, because even though I put red on it on purpose, I was, oh look at that, it looks a bit like the washi tape, right. Okay, that will do. These, by the way, I think are called field notes, these labels. They're from Tracy Fox at Love Junk Journals on Etsy. Love them. It's a great digital kit. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of labels in it. Be prepared for a very full evening of fussy cutting, get yourself a nice bottle of wine, get yourself a really good movie, sit down with a sharp pair of scissors. Mind you, maybe the bottle of wine isn't a good idea if you're using a sharp pair of scissors. It probably wouldn't be for me. And just fussy cut, and then you'll have, I don't know how many are in the whole kit. Actually, that would be a great way to cover up that, wouldn't it? How many on the sheets, but I'm sure there's got to be easily more than 100, because some of them are really tiny and very useful, I may say. Right, this one needs to go over here, and I think it needs to go in there. Actually, does it need to go there? So, and I think we're probably done. Can't believe then we've done number 51, and there's only one more to do, and this whole thing is finished. Let's put that to one side. I want to give that just a little bit of knocking back in colour slightly. Let's bring that in. Let's double check I've got all of the prompts on here. This one is so big. Right, let's put you in the middle of the screen so people can see. Right, something underlined in red. I've got red down there. I used red washi, not anything else. Form or part of form, that's the whole back. Stitching patterns drawn, stamped. I stamped on stitching pattern. Portion of a postcard. This is the postcard. This was just an element I put in there. Otherwise, there doesn't seem to be any reason to have the pocket if I don't put something into the pocket. I like that because unless you know what that image is, you don't know that it's actually a woman's face. And I like that, and I like the way the number went through. I think if I'm going to congratulate myself, I will say that was a good choice to do that. Washi tape, definitely washi tape on here. Something that sits on the table, or Chinaware sits on the table, that's fine. And that was it, we've done it. I enjoyed that one. I like that one a lot. Yes, I've got out of my blue phase, but then if you look at this, there it is again. It's funny how colours in your life carry through. But that's fine, I'm liking that. I'm really, really liking that spread. So I've got one more to go. I'm so tempted to see what the prompts are, but I won't until I start prepping for this. Right. So I think hopefully you enjoyed that as well. That was number 51. I've only got one more of these to do. As I said, I'm going to try and keep it to a Christmas theme, purely because why not? It's Christmas. I'm going to do that. I did Halloween. I think I should do Christmas. If I'd have thought ahead, I should have done Easter and Valentine on the other ones, but I came to that realization after I'd done the spreads. So, social media links, this is who I am, this is where you'll find me. I'd love you to join me on my artistic journey. So a good thumbs up, I love positive comments, subscribe, share would be fabulous. Thank you very much. My numbers on YouTube are travelling upwards, which is lovely, and it's all down to you guys. I'm hoping to reach maybe 50,000 by Christmas. Is that a bit too optimistic? We'll see. I mean, I've got quite an aggressive videoing schedule ahead of me, so there's going to be more things on. I hope it's done. So this, as I said, has been pre-recorded. It'll do on Christmas, so maybe nip across to my channel and see how many subscribers I actually achieved by then. So there you go, that's that. I'm Ceri the Crafter, that's Ceri the Crafter, and I'm signing off for now. Bye bye.